We have with us on the Jack Spring Electric Newsmaker Hotline Eddie Rispone, the Republican candidate for governor. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Aaron. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You are going to be at a big event in Monroe tonight. President Trump is coming. Are you expecting a standing room only crowd?
Well, I tell you what, we just found out they had 40,000 RSVPs for an arena that only holds 8. So, yes, I would say it's going to be standing room only. It's amazing what he does.
That truly is. You obviously had input on where you wanted him to come. Monroe, obviously, Congressman Ralph Abraham's base. You want to make sure you get those voters back out to the polls, correct?
That's correct. But, Congressman Abraham had something to do with this as well. He's excited about bringing the President of the United States to Northeast Louisiana because it's been since 1983 since the President's been there. So it's really exciting for him as well. Sure.
Mr. Rispone, let me
ask you this. Third time he's been to Louisiana.
Cool. I hear he's coming next week to Shreveport. Shreveport Bossier. What can you tell us about that? Give us a little clue.
I'm just excited he's coming today to Northeast Louisiana, and he's indicated he might come there. But let's enjoy this one. Let's get the vote out. That's what we've been doing. I've been traveling the state, for the last 2 weeks, and particularly yesterday. We went. Actually Monday. We went 7 different cities, just getting out the vote, telling people it's all about getting out the vote. And that's where we're very grateful to the president. He loves Louisiana. I can't tell you, when he calls me on my cell, he just picks the phone up and calls you. He says, he loves Louisiana. He wants to see us win. He wants to see Louisiana do very well, like the rest of the country. It's amazing.
Think he's going to pull for the team on the ball game this weekend?
Yeah, you think he's for the Tigers this weekend?
Oh, he better be. I mean, really.
Eddie, let me ask you about some things that really matter to the Shreveport Bossier community. You brought it up in the debate, and I was really glad to see it. Was the I-49 intercity connector that the governor moved really quickly when he wanted that Barksdale interchange on I-20. Moved quickly, got that thing moving. A governor can make that happen. If he wants the intercity connector built, he can do that. Do you pledge to do that for Shreveport? That is huge for our community.
Listen, exactly. We're going to do everything possible to get that done. And that's why you get a business person, someone that knows how to get things done. He's talking about he didn't have the money. We do projects. You don't wait till the money shows up. It takes years to get everything ready to go. And I was talking with the president earlier in the year, and the president really wants to get after this infrastructure. And he told all of us, all the different governors, he says, hey, be ready. Because when I come out with this package this coming year in 2020, I want you to be ready, shovel ready. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. We're going to get out there and get all the things that are holding it back out of the way. So when we get the funding, we're going to get it done. Look at what's happening just in New Orleans. I mean, they finished a brand new terminal and they have no way to get to it. He's had 4 years to do something about it. That's what politicians do.
I also heard you talk about our infrastructure and the needs, 13 to 15 billion, depending on who you talk to. And most people would say that's going to take some sort of revenue, gas tax, whatever. You seem to think you can find the money elsewhere. I question whether or not we got that much money elsewhere, but what is going to be your approach for fixing our roads?
We can start now by not spending the money on salaries and wages, and benefits. We have over $130 million a year that's being spent on that, gas tax dollars. And then we told the citizens it's going to go on roads and bridges, and we sent it on something else. So I'm going to immediately do that. And the same way with the capital outlay. I think with the money that we can do immediately, we can be talking about $600-700 million a year more. And then the other thing, too, is start looking at how we do the tax and revenues and where it comes from and where it's being prioritized. And look at what other states are doing. And I'm already talking to some of the other states on how are they doing it. Why are they spending, billions of dollars a year on their interstates and roads and infrastructure while we can't? So we're going to look at it from that standpoint. But let me mention something else about the I-49.
Sure.
Shreveport, Bossier, it will take off if we tie that together. It will bring industry and bring commerce all across the top of our state. And Shreveport would be a hub. Shreveport Bossier would be a hub. So this is a big deal.
It'll have a community where two interstates meet in the middle and both of them going across the country. It's a no-brainer.
I don't get it. I mean, I just don't get it. So we're just like our bridge in Lake Charles is falling down. We need a bridge in Baton Rouge. People are aggravated. They stand in traffic for an hour when it should take 10 minutes. You know, we got a brand new airport in New Orleans and we don't have a way to get to it. It's just foolishness. It's just a matter of prioritizing.
Eddie, Texas voters overwhelmingly voted for a constitutional amendment yesterday to keep income taxes off the books. That makes Texas, gives them another leg up on us in terms of recruiting business and jobs. You're talking to a market in Shreveport-Bossier that has lost 2,500 jobs from a year ago, and that's the governor's own workforce administration numbers. Shreveport-Bossier's lost 2,500 jobs. What will Eddie Rispone as governor do for our region?
You know, I've been a job creator all my life, and I've worked with job creators, understand what it takes. So we have to go after that. You know, we have to restructure our taxes. We have to restructure our regulations. We have to let the job creators know that we're open for job creators. Very simple process. Look what happened on a national level. As soon as Donald Trump was elected, the stock market took off before he did anything. You know, so everyone is ready for someone different, a business person, someone that's not beholden to special interest, someone that has the backbone to do something different. And then on the specifics, again, I have to say, we have to look at our tax and revenues. We have to look at that to make us competitive. I would love to see us do away with personal income tax. Texas, Tennessee, and Florida are booming, and they have no personal income tax. So we have to look at those things and restructure. We just can't do away with it, but we have to look at everything to make ourselves competitive. And this, you know, another reason why, you know, I feel strongly about having a Constitution Convention so we can make the structural changes that would make us competitive so we will grow. We're last, and that is unacceptable. As I've traveled the state, we realize, you know, more and more how God has blessed this state with incredible natural resources, and we're still 50th.
Talking to Eddie
We just
Rispone,
need some leadership.
Candidate for governor, Republican candidate. Let's talk education for a moment, if you don't mind, because I have talked to some teachers who are a little bit leery of some of the things you have pitched. You're in favor of charter schools, correct?
Yes, I'm in favor of every way we can educate our children. And in some cases, the charters have worked better, and it allowed them to go and pick the school that they want to be. You know, we're just going to continue to do that. And I'm also a very strong advocate for vocational training. Half the jobs in the country, and Louisiana is no different, require post-secondary education, but they do not require a 4-year degree. So we're going to continue to expand that. That's where many of the jobs are. 75% of the jobs in the country do not require a 4-year degree. And so we're going to continue to move that so we have these young people have an alternative, you know, have a future.
Why are Louisiana schools always
talk about education?
Why are Louisiana schools always near or at the bottom of performance lists and graduation rates and dropout rate? Why are we always at the bottom? What's the problem?
Well, you know, it's a lot of things, but I'm talking to the superintendents and everyone else. But the big deal is, you know, all we do is talk about more money and less accountability. You know, that's what we have. And I think it's going to take a governor that, like me, that has a passion for education to try to help. And that's been JB's, the John Bell Edwards, since he's been in the legislature. He has fought accountability every day, every step of the way. And that's his MO. More money, less accountability. You know, he voted against just grading the schools A through F so the parents would know what their school is, how their performance was. Every step of the way, he's voted against accountability and trying to improve our education. Now he's running around bragging that our graduation rate is the highest it's been. I mean, he'll take credit for anything, but he won't take credit for anything that's not good, you know.
Would you cut funding for education and use it in a little better way that would better educate our children?
Well, start with would not cut funding. We got to fund education. We got to improve funding for education. You know, my motto is not cut costs. My motto is to make everything more efficient and effective so you get more for where your dollars are. That's the idea. Don't cut funding. I think teachers should make a lot more money, but we have to structure it where they can.
We have some charter schools in our community that are not successful. What should happen with those that are not making the grade?
You should shut them down. You should shut them down. I mean, it goes, shut them down, just like, they can't perform. We got to get rid of them, and we got to go recruit good ones. If we need charter schools, let's get the best. And they've been doing that of recent. There was quite a few that got into it that didn't perform, and they shut them down. And we need to continue to do that.
Mr. Rispone.
And just like the ones that take the scholarship children, if they're not performing, you don't send them over there. You got to make them accountable. Total accountability, whether it's traditional public school, charter school, it doesn't matter. Accountability.
Mr. Rispone, you have been linked. I know you want to get to this before we have to wrap it up. You have been linked to Bobby Jindal. There's another flyer linking you to David Duke. Do you suspect John Bell Edwards is behind this? He says no. This seems to really be kind of a low blow. How'd you feel about it when you first heard?
It's just disgusting. I mean, that's what they do. When they're desperate, they start playing the race card. And they're talking about the President of the United States, Donald Trump, is racist. You know what that means? Everyone that's voted for him, they're calling a racist. They're calling me a racist. Everyone that voted for me is a racist. That's the play. They play that card. It's insulting. But the other thing is that Donald Trump, the unemployment for minorities is the lowest it's been in history. And they're going to call him a racist? I personally, my wife and I have spent thousands and thousands of dollars and thousands of hours trying to give children a quality education. I mean, literally, we've had as many as 400 children on scholarship, trying to give them a good quality education when they were coming out of failing schools. And they're going to call us a racist? And they're calling everyone that votes for us a racist. It's disgusting. I don't know how to say it. It's just disgusting. They'll stoop as low as they have to go. And John Bell Edwards, he doesn't take credit for anything that's negative. His liberal Democrats have been attacking us for decades. And now they're out trying to impeach our president. And he is taking millions of dollars from the national Democrats. He's taking millions of dollars from them, and he's taking millions of dollars from his plaintiff attorneys. But he didn't have anything to do with that. It's just that's how he operates.
Eddie Rispone going to be in Monroe, the president's visit. I'm hearing about a visit next week in Shreveport. We'll kind of hold that one and see what happens. And I know you want to say go Tigers, right?
Exactly. It's a big deal. We got to go Tigers. I hope the president does the same thing for us.
Can you do a Coach O impersonation?
No, go Tigers.
There you go.
I don't have that voice, and I don't look like Coach O. The Saints are doing great. And the Tigers are doing great. I actually use the LSU quite a bit in my stump speeches. If LSU was last in the SEC, we would fire everyone from the president on down to the poor water boy.
Oh, no doubt.
But Louisiana is last. We're 50th in the country. It's time we change the coach. It's time we change the governor and get somebody there to do something different.
You're going to be the biggest cheerleader, right?
Yeah. Eddie Rispone, Republican candidate for governor. Thanks for your time today, sir. We appreciate it.
I look forward to seeing y'all in Shreveport.
Yes.
I'll be there tomorrow.
Wonderful. Take care, sir.
Take care. Thanks for having me.